Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty fun and wholesome things, a really wholesome story I want to go and share with you guys. We have some brand new updates too as well when it comes to more Spider-Man stuff too. We have some crazy news when it comes to Shrek. And funny enough, once again, end of the PlayStation 4, which is going a little bit more on the crazier side. So gonna go talk about this, talk about the drama, talk about everything else in between, and hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy. As well as a reminder, we have maybe like 8 hours left or so, depending when you guys watch this video, on the brand new Samsung Howl promotion in the description and comment section down below, so check that on out. We'll probably be done talking about that probably as of tomorrow, so make sure you guys go and swing that up and save your $50. No obligations needed, all down below. We have the Twitter and Twitch down below if you also follow Amazon links, and subscribe if you guys want. And let's go dive into some, in all honesty, some pretty good and wholesome news. So we're gonna go start off over here with some, like, in my mind, kind of just nice. Like, so first and foremost, I always like to highlight the really wholesome, really kind of comfy things when it comes to the world out there, because there's like a lot of really negativity stuff, especially in the gaming scene. Although I would say the gaming scene, at least overall, is pretty, at least in my opinion, pretty wholesome in most regards, a lot of charity work and stuff like that. And now this one is kind of a nice little heart throb, where has been basically like a big awesome officer over here in Hapeville. Basically gave a PlayStation 5 to a kid that he was basically meant to go and like remove and call out basically over here. So him being a good, awesome guy, which I just want to highlight and saying how cool this is, had a chance to make a kid's day. So Officer Colleran, hopefully I said that right, from the city of Hapeville Police Department was called out to a neighborhood on Monday, according to a post on Facebook. And I'll show you guys the video in a second, where basically over here a video has now been recorded where basically this officer responded to a call to remove a child and ended up with him actually buying just a brand new PlayStation 5 in this, like, it's just wholesome. It's just nice. Like, sometimes when it comes to life, you never really necessarily know. You guys can kind of see, like, the little looping video over here for this one, which is pretty much, like, the main gusto of it, where it's just a wholesome vibe. Because sometimes, like, when it comes to being a kid and you're, like, involved in, like, maybe, like, not the nicest areas, maybe involved in crime, maybe you're just kind of, maybe going to be skewing down the wrong path, stuff like this can really go and change the trajectory of your life. Because you could sit there and be like, yeah, I just want to, like, I don't know, if I was a cop, I was a parent, I was a teacher, I'd rather my kid be at home playing games, playing Fortnite or whatever, instead of trying to get into, like, random mischief or trying to rob stores or, you know, whatever it might be. And this is why I kind of like seeing, and, like, to highlight this stuff on the channel, because this is dope. Like, first and foremost, look at how proud they both look. Like, this guy, he knows. Like, he just has that instantaneous smile on his face. If you guys kind of stare at the video itself, the little gif over here, like, he instantly shows this. He's trying to look stern, you know, he's a cop, he's trying to be like that, you know, that BA. But the second he sees that reaction, you see that smile go and flip up, he gets that hug, and this is the type of stuff I would like to do more of. I always say this on my channel for content, for Twitch or whatever, because this stuff just makes me happy. Like, it makes me feel wholesome. So basically over here, he had a chance to give him the console over here from the city of Hapeville, and the police department was called out for the neighborhood on Monday, according to a post on the department's Facebook page. When he met the young man in question, Officer Colleran learned the real reason behind the kid's presence in the area. He was on a mission to save up for the PlayStation 5 by doing yard work, including weed pulling, grass cutting, hedge trimming, and basically just kind of just going probably door to door, being like, hey, I can shovel, you know, I can shovel snow, I can cut your hedges, I can go and cut some grass. And the youngster's entrepreneurial spirit struck a chord with the officer, who happened to be a gamer himself, and impressed by the boy's ambition. Officer Colleran hatched a plan, teaming up with some of the friends. The officers not only secured a brand new PlayStation 5 for the kid, but also doing a gift card to cover the membership, allowing him to jump right into gaming action, which this is like, I love this stuff, dude. The police department's video captured the precious moment the officer revealed the PS5 to the kid. As he laid eyes on the console, his hands flew to his face before embracing him in a hug. So this is cool. Like, basically, like, it's not really that much going on over here besides the gift and stuff you guys already saw, but he has a chance to get the console, surprise the kid, and you wanna know what? This is the type of stuff that I think the gaming community should be a part of. This is wholesome. This is nice. I just love this. I love seeing this type of stuff. It brings a smile to my face, and hopefully brings a smile to your faces too as well. I don't know. When it comes to gaming, I've seen gaming as a whole do a lot of good. We've raised a lot of money for charity, mainly on my Twitch stream. And at the same time, I would love to do more stuff for that maybe on the YouTube side as well, once I kind of get back in the groove of making some good, hopefully good YouTube videos. It's just one of those things where it's just nice. It's nice to be around. We like seeing this type of stuff. It's good. So now to get more on the drama side, we get some wholesome, we get some drama right after, where if you guys have been seeing this game, Quantum Error has been up in the news a decent bit. We made a video on them not too long ago discussing the fact of how they basically kind of like saying really bad things about Xbox, and when it comes to Xbox itself, saying like they didn't even really want to make a game. It was actually a lot of issues and bugs, and it kind of drove a lot of controversy. Now, this one's even more on the PlayStation 4 now, so this game is just getting so much free marketing on their other hot takes, saying, unfortunately, we're going to have to cancel the PS4 version of basically Quantum Error. Even with the game being made from the beginning for the PS5, we still had hopes we can make a PS4 version happen. But with the level of quality we have achieved with QA, with gameplay running at 60 FPS, so mainly still like their PlayStation 5 versions running well, we have to reach the conclusion that there is no way for us to deliver a version on PS4 that would live on what the PS5 is going to deliver. Basically trying to say that their PlayStation 5 version is so much better, at least in their minds, that they just can't really kind of fathom themselves sitting there and be like, hey, like, yeah, you could play on the PS4. Which also, I mean, in theory, these guys could just be maybe like master marketing geniuses, and they might just be sitting here being like, hey, like, bros, like, we just can't, like, I don't know, maybe they never made a PlayStation 4 in the first place, maybe they just gave up on it, and they're like, we just can't make it. But in theory, like, they just never had plans to because it's a PlayStation 5 game, and they kind of maybe think this might be a really good tweet, being like, yeah, the PS4 or whatever, our graphics would be so good and well optimized, PlayStation for just buy the PlayStation version itself, which would kind of make sense. So the PS4 version would require too much downgrading and changing of assets, lighting, and much more to function. And with the difference in memory and the slower HDD speed, it would be a very different experience that will not compare to the PS5 version. It would not be fair to PS4 players. As well, I also had someone going asking too, saying, what about an Xbox One version? They said there never was an Xbox version, which once again, a lot of folks are, like, especially them, have kind of been on the harping on the Xbox side. So it seems like right now they're mainly purely going on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, which is fine. That is kind of like the standard console. And even as of right this second, we do see a lot of games that already do that. We do see a lot of games already out there that their main goal is to go and hit the next gen. Think Final Fantasy 16. They're mainly there to go and hit PS5 and probably hit the Xbox in the future or PC in the future, depending on exclusivity agreements too as well. But once again, it's crazy because the PS4 does seem like it is really finally getting, well, phased out. We saw the really big AAA games obviously kind of focus more on the PS5, but there is still that really awkward thing that gets brought up in the news all the time, where we kind of see the PS4 has a really big install base, so you still want to sell games there if you can, because people are still playing on their PS4s, although a lot of folks now are kind of making their transition over to the PS5. Now, I'm sure, once again, big games like Spider-Man and Wolverine are probably going to drive more and more sales, and even things probably like, I'm sure, Final Fantasy 16 also drove quite a few big sales as well. So either way, I'm sure a lot of folks are going to be popping on there regardless, but it's crazy to see how much attention this has gotten. This company has been going nonstop, and their viral marketing is doing pretty good. They do still have plans for the PC port, and the game itself was getting called out a little bit for not looking and seeming the best, but at the same time, they still made a game, and they're already doing a game, so you can't complain with that. So I can't complain with you guys. Check out the Samsung link down below. Yeah, all around interesting stuff. Now, we have a few little other side of stories over here, too, when it comes to some more news, when it comes to either, like, you know, we have a few little baby bits. Number one, we have some more interesting news when it comes to Final Fantasy 16. Well, there actually has been now a lot of these articles and surveys floating around when it comes to Square Enix. And this is mainly in the fact of them trying to go figure out what they want to do next on the Final Fantasy 16. Now, Final Fantasy 16 itself has been mainly shipped as a finished product. But they're also, I feel like for them, this is going to be one of their probably like last Final Fantasy games for quite some time. It just takes a really long time to go make them. Obviously, they're going to keep making them, obviously. But when it comes to this stuff, they probably want to know if they want to make a good DLC, if they should do other various like micro stories. They did do a lot of micro stories for the other various games, such as Final Fantasy 15, over time, and they probably could go work in short stories if they have the assets and the characters. And in theory, like, you could probably make another secondary thing pretty well when it comes to Final Fantasy 16, depending on how you want to do the stories and, like I said, characters, etc. So it does kind of seem like, even though we heard a lot of marketing of them basically not wanting to go and deal with this, like, not want to go and just ship an unfinished game, they might actually have a chance to go work in more proper DLCs tied on in. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments if you guys would want more Final Fantasy 16 or not. We also have kind of a crazy story over here where DreamWorks' new kart racer puts Shrek back in the driver's seat. So DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing is overrun now with trolls. You guys can see this random artwork over here of Shrek. God only knows what's going on. But basically, their All-Star Shrek, Puss in Boots, Boss Baby, Hiccup, and a whole bunch of trolls are getting added in the Mario Kart treatment for the new game, DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. The crossover kart racer will span 2 decades of the DreamWorks cinematic catalog, borrowing characters from Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon. So if you guys ever want to play this with your kids, your family, or whatever it might be, you guys totally could go and check it on out if you guys want. I just cannot believe we are seeing like Shrek Donkey, Kung Fu Panda over here. I think it's like name is Poe, right? Poe the Panda. God only knows. Although I always do like these racing games, we really need a new Mario Kart game at some point, because this actually, even graphically wise, actually does look pretty nice. So I would not mind that. And then last but not least, too, we need to get a little bit more of the Spider-Man news over here when it comes to the fact that actually some of the people might be able to go actually play as Venom. A little bit of like a small spoiler over here, but it does seem like Venom actually might either become a playable character or become something that you yourself can go play as, especially with all, we also saw the integrations of Spider-Man and their own brand new Venom suits we saw earlier on today as well. So it's also kind of nice and nifty to maybe have 3 different playable characters, and we're slowly getting that slow drip of new stuff from the Spider-Man game. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, with all the Amazon links and the Samsung and Howl links down below. Make sure you guys check that on out. We only have like one more day left for the pre-order, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.